was going to see if I could find Cyclist magazine, but Tesco aren't that upmarket enough for Cyclist magazine. Apparently my Tifosi disc brake is in there. Cereal aisle always amazes me. Charlie wrote the shopping list this week, and there's always one thing when I come that I know I won't be able to find, and this week it's black bean sauce. And I'm kind of guessing it should be in this aisle. I don't know why. I will find it. I found it. There's one here. But there's also one up here. I had to Google it. I had to Google black bean sauce Tesco, and I could see that Sharwood did one, and Blue Dragon, and then I just honed in on that location. Easy. So Lord, I know you're asking about cars. You're wondering why was I driving a red car this weekend and not the usual blue Dacia that of course me and Charlie have. Well, this is my grandfather's car, and he very kindly allows me to use it if Charlie needs our Dacia. But it always reinforces the point that we really need a van. So next year could be the year. Since moving into this flat, I've had to store most of my cycling kit in this box. Shorts, gilets, jerseys, you name it, most of it is in there. Thankfully when I'm doing indoor sessions though, I only need Thankfully when I'm doing indoor sessions though, that's all I need is a pair of shorts. So that's today's job. Session on the turbo. I'm going to be doing my first session of many that'll be targeted towards specific training for the British hill climb, balancing like the training for that with the training for the hill climbs that I have already entered. So I've entered Pollock Hill Climb this weekend. I've then got the Struggle Hill Climb up in the Lake District the following weekend, which is also quite a long hill climb, like over 10 minutes. So really it's about finding that balance. And so this session today is really just gonna like kickstart that change and that training. For the most part, I know the British Hill Climb training plan, which is on sale on the Backpedal website. I created that as a bit of a way for people to get structure in to make themselves improve in the British Hill Climb season. So what I really want to do over the course of the next few weeks in the build up to that one day is, rather than give you a training plan for that one day, I would show you how I prepare throughout the next 6 or 7 weeks towards that one event. You see, I spoke recently in the last couple of videos about sacrificing my FTP to actually work on my functional reserve capacity. Functional reserve capacity is basically the energy that you can use once you go above like critical power. So once you go above FTP, for example, you almost think of it as like a battery, and most like analytical softwares now will actually use that analogy of a battery. And once you drain that battery, you're kind of stuffed, like you have to recover so that you can go again. And hence why when you do these short, really hard intervals and you drain the battery really quickly, obviously they're well over FTP, you actually have to have a recovery to then go again and drain it again. And the point of it is to obviously increase that workload, increase that ability, the size of the battery, and the length of time you can burn that match as well. So that is the sort of training that I'll be doing. The training I'll be doing, and I'll be tracking the metrics along the way over the next coming weeks, is trying to lose that FTP really and gain in this other area to hopefully give me an extra couple of watts in layman's terms on that 3-minute power that I'm aiming for. Okay, so here's the session we are starting out with. It's 30 second intervals times 6 and 2 sets. So there's the first set right there, second set right there, and a little bit of rest in between to break them up. We've got this nice little warm up here, which is very similar to the warm up I use for my hill climbs. So it's all kind of part of keeping a routine and getting myself in tune with it all. So these 30-second efforts are going to be done at around 550 watts, roughly. I'm just going to give them my best, to be honest. And then 3 minutes rest between each of them. So this is the starting point. There's 6 minutes worth of intensity when you total it all up. So like pretty low on the whole like range of stimulus, but being that I've just done 2 back-to-back days with Great Dunfell and Hardside Hill Climb, I'm starting out with this. Got to have a starting point, start small, and build and build and build. So my session earlier today went very, very well. I did, however, have a slight panic attack when my MacBook, which is about 5 years old, decided to like have a black screen of death, and I wasn't able to do anything on it. So I wasn't actually able to look at the session and see how it went until, well, only a couple of hours ago. So fingers crossed the Apple gods are looking down on my laptop and keep it going for another couple of years. But it was a good session, and there was some great chat in the live chat. I quite like live streaming workouts, even though they're not as popular as when I do races for obvious reasons. But I think they're good to come back to. You know, people seem to get a bit of like benefit from having them there, because if, say, they are trying to do a similar kind of workout or trying to look for one online and they find that, not only do they have a workout there, but they're also able to follow along and do it in real time as well, which is pretty rare, really. But no, the point is really that I get to do it live and I get to talk to people who are watching it live. And there's always some great questions that come at a terrible moment, such as when I'm just starting my next interval. And most of the questions revolve around why am I doing the session? So hopefully in this video I've somewhat explained that a little bit. But it's always a shock to people sometimes to when they see a workout, and like today's workout, you know, I got through it pretty well. And like I would definitely say that during the second set of 6, I was starting to really feel it in my legs. And a lot of people look at that session and go, well, that's an easy session. Like, what sort of benefits that can give you? Well, it's not just a case of going max every time you get on the bike, especially for me. Maybe some of you don't realize, just I'm not great at these intervals, and part of this is getting better at them. And you've got to start somewhere, and sometimes we forget that we have to start somewhere. Rather than where's the best place to start. If we're always looking for the best place to start, sometimes you just never start. So I had to start somewhere, and this was it with 2 sets. We've learned a ton from that now. I've learned that I can probably get away with doing 30 watts more because I was able to complete those pretty well. Yes, I was tired, and it's come at the end of 2 days of doing those 2 hill climbs. But I think I could probably get away with it. But did I perform the session badly? Did I perform it well? You know, at the end of the day, that actually went really well. And I think moving on, I'm going to make small adjustments, small tweaks, and from here we'll just build on that. So it's all about that progression. So Anyway, that's enough of that. We've just had food. I don't know why, but I'm just craving potatoes now. Potatoes, rosemary, olive oil. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next one.